Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we'll be doing a Derrick Rose build, so make sure he's a point guard, and we'll move on to the body settings. So on basketballreference.com, Derrick Rose is listed at 6'2". I think for some of his career he's been listed at 6'3" or 6'4", but we all know that some players do lie about their height. But basketballreference.com and the NBA website list him at 6'2", so that's the height we'll be going with. In terms of the weight, we are going to drop it down to 174. You can go as low as 165 pounds, but I did want to boost that up for a bit of perimeter defense. So make sure the build has 174 pounds of weight. Now for wingspan, we are going to push that up a bit to 6'9". So that's just to improve a bit of defense and finishing as well. Make sure we get those elite contact dunks. So make sure the wingspan's 6'9". Body shape's up to you, and we'll move on. So for close shot, we're just going to push that to 57. That's just what it gets to when we upgrade the mid-range later. And I know that some people do like to have a high close shot, but you are only 6'2". I doubt someone this short on 2K is going to be trying too many close shots. So I don't think it's worth wasting badge points upgrading close shot, when the majority of the time you're probably trying to get contact dunks while you're going to the rim, or you're trying to shoot from the perimeter. So just a 57 close shot for now. Now for driving layup, this arguably could be higher, but I just didn't want to use too many attribute points on this. We do get an 80 driving layup with this build, so you will have some good animations that you'll be able to get. You'll also have the layup badges silver, most notably fearless finisher and giant slayer. They can be really handy badges to have. In terms of driving dunk, now you all know in his prime, in his Chicago days pre-injury, he could posterize guys. He's got some pretty amazing dunks for such a young man, such a short player at 6'2". So we're going to push driving dunk to 92 to get those elite contact dunks. You'll also get the small contact dunks for this build, as you are under 6'4", and the pro contact dunks. So you'll have all the contact dunks you can get at 6'2". But that'll be all for finishing. Now for shooting, when he first started, he wasn't a very good shooter. He's quite good in the mid-range. His pull-up game in the mid-range was quite decent, but his three-point shooting was pretty woeful. As his career's gone on and he's lost his athleticism due to injuries and age, he has become a pretty decent shooter from the perimeter. I think in this season with the Knicks, he shot over 40%. So he has become a pretty decent shooter. So we're going to push mid-range shot to 87, which is a few below the max, and we're going to push three-point shot to 80, which is a little below the max. You can go as high as 88 if you like, but for Derrick Rose, I just found that 80 seemed to be most realistic and allowed me to upgrade other things in the build. So just an 83-point shot with an 87 mid-range. You still get the 26 badges, and you've got a lot of things here, gold or silver, with a couple Hall of Fame if you like. Now free throw, he is an 83% free throw shooter, so he's pretty good from the line. So we're just going to get it to 80. Just a good rating for 2K, good solid rating. Now for playmaking, we are just going to push pass accuracy to 85. 86, sorry, because at 85, of course, we get the bullet passer, and then at 86, we get the extra badge point. Now he has got a career average of 5.4 assists a game, and in his MVP season with Chicago, he did average around 7.7 assists a game, so he was developing into a really good playmaker. He is a really good floor general even now, particularly coming off the bench. He can really lead second units, so we definitely want that pass accuracy nice and high. Now for ball handle, we all know early in his career when he had that athleticism, he could break. He broke so many ankles, so we definitely want a high ball handle. So we're going to get the 90 ball handle with this build, and also going to get 92 speed with ball because he's blisteringly quick. And at 92, we also get the Hall of Fame quick first step. So you will have the Hall of Fame quick first step with this build, along with the 90 ball handle. So you should really be hard to stay in front of. Now on defense, he wasn't a particularly great defender. Like a lot of really great offensive players, their defense is probably good enough to guard their man pretty well. Apart from the top echelon of players that are really great both on defense and offense, most really great offensive players are just solid enough to guard the guy in front of them. And Derrick Rose was no different. He had Tom Thibodeau as a coach in his career with Chicago, so that of course helps. in hiding some of your defensive liabilities, but he was a decent defender. You know, he's athletic, so he could stay in front of guys. So we're going to push perimeter defense to 86, sorry. So at 85 you get the gold clamps, and then 86 you get the extra badge point. And then for steal, he only averaged around 1 steal a game for his peak. And then as his career's gone on, he's generally been just under 1 a game, and his career average is 0.8 steals a game. So he's not a huge thief out there on the court, but we are still going to push steal to 78 to get that gold interceptor. And in terms of block, he's not a huge block getter, you know, but you do have a 6'9" wingspan, and you will be very quick with this build, so there is chances to get chase down blocks on fast breaks. So we're going to push block to 57 to also get intimidator to contest shots on the perimeter. And then also at 57 we get the chase down artist bronze, so you get those animations. But that'll be all for defense. Now physicals, like I said, you will be pretty quick with this build, so you should be able to catch up to a lot of players, particularly other like small forward shooting guards that may not have the speed to beat you down the court. So you have the 90 speed with the 90 acceleration. You may get some chances to get those chase down blocks with the 6'9" wingspan. So you'll be pretty fast. Now for vertical, we do need an 85 vertical to get those small contact dunks along with the elites and the pros. So make sure you have 85 vertical, and the rest will go on stamina for 90 stamina, and that's the build. So in total we have 22 finishing, 26 shooting, 32 playmaking, and 17 defensive badges. For a total of 97 badges on this Derrick Rose build. It's got Hall of Fame quick first step, elite contact dunks, all the contact dunks, you know, you got gold posterizer, can shoot a pretty good clip from the perimeter, particularly if you're open and you've got a good jump shot, you can easily hit at a really great rate. And also you got, you know, gold clamps and pretty much gold defense. So really well rounded, slashing, you know, shot creating type of player. You know, really hard to stay in front of, got really high speed and those elite contact dunks. You should have a lot of fun with the build. In terms of takeovers, I just chose finishing moves for Derrick Rose. You know, he's a slasher primarily, and also ankle breaking shots, because we all know, you know, he could definitely break ankles as he went through to the rim, or break ankles on those pull-ups from mid-range. So those are the two I went with. Now, as you can see, you've built a two-way threat with shades of Muhammad Abdul-Rauf, De'Aaron Fox, and John Wall. So John Wall's quite similar. He's probably more of a playmaker than a scorer as to what Derrick Rose was, but you know, there's a lot of similarities there, particularly with De'Aaron Fox as well, that speed and quickness. But we'll take a look at the badges. Now for Derrick Rose, we definitely want that posterizer, as high as we can get it, you know, slithery finisher, limitless takeoff. You've still got 9 left, so you know, you might want Lob City finisher. You know, he had a huge alley-oop that he got really high to try and catch and slammed it down in his early days with Chicago. You know, unstrippable as well, so you don't lose the ball. You've still got a few left. You know, for Derrick Rose, fearless finisher is probably a big one. You know, he just didn't matter what happened, he was going to go in there, put his body on the line. Giant Slayer, of course, and Acrobat. I think Acrobat probably be silver. He's very acrobatic in the air, and Giant Slayer, of course, as well. He also had a pretty good floater, so maybe for Derrick Rose, for a realistic Derrick Rose build, probably put Teardropper on silver, because he did have a really finesse-like floater. But that could be a good one for Derrick. Now on shooting, I'd say a lot of it was off the dribble from mid-range, so I think if he were to get drafted today, he'd probably be a decent three-point shooter. He'd probably be like Ja Morant. Ja Morant's very similar with his athleticism. And, you know, he's developed his three-point shot, and I imagine Derrick Rose would as well. So, you know, things like circus threes, set shooter, stop and pop, you know, volume shooter, of course, mismatch expert, because you are 6'2", rhythm shooter, you know, you got the sniper there, get chef, you know, limitless spot up. He's very clutch, so we definitely want clutch shooter on. Then things like Deadeye, difficult shots because he hits off the dribble, and then maybe hot zone hunter as well, because I'm sure he's got his hot zones. You know, some other badges I might look at would be Green Machine. When he got hot, he was pretty hard to stop. You know, he's had some big games. I remember his 50-point game with Minnesota. You know, he shot really well from the field that game. Another one, you know, slippery off ball, so you don't get caught around on offense. And then that, you know, the last one you may want to chuck on catch and shoot. because he has sort of developed into a decent catch and shoot player, but he wasn't much so in his early in his career, but he's become a decent one now. So that could be a really good layout for Derrick Rose. Now on playmaking, we definitely want that bullet passer, of course. Also ankle breaker, he definitely broke a lot of ankles. There's a video of him breaking Tyreek Evans' ankles earlier in their careers, which is pretty nasty. Hyperdrive to help on with speed, quick chain, triple threat juke, got unpluckable, stop and go, quick first steps there, Hall of Fame. Needle threader, glue hands, dimer, downhill to help with a bit of speed, although I'm not sure you probably don't need it. You've got space creator, tight handles, and then handles for days as well. That could be the badges I would look at for Derrick Rose, and that could be a decent layout. Now for defense and rebounding, just like I said before, just being able to guard the man in front of you. So gold clamps. You may want interceptor on silver or gold. Got pick dodger gold. Tireless defender's great to have on bronze. Intimidator, chase down artists to get those animations. Pickpockets there. You may want to drop something down to get pickpocket silver, or add an extra badge point into this build if you do make it to get pickpocket. But bronze could be okay. And then your last one, you could put menace on, but I actually tend to like off-ball pest on bronze, just to give you those bump animations on defense to hold players up as they're moving around the court, which is why slippery off-ball is a really handy badge to have also. But they can just help you be a bit more of a menace on defense. But that could be a good layout for Derrick. All in all, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a really great day.